Hello, Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and analysis from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. Well, Andy Beshear is going to Washington. That at least is his plan. The only question is, how is he going to get there? Well, everybody knows in the country, except for one person, that Joe Biden is senile. And the only person who doesn't know is Joe Biden. And everybody knows this. I mean, if he was on Jeopardy, this is probably the way that it would go.
This man, also known as the worst president in United States history, loves ice cream, lounging on beaches, and sniffing children. Joe.
Who is me? Wait, where am I?
You know, the worst part about that is that if Joe Biden was actually on Jeopardy, that's really the way it would probably go. Now, the Democrats know that there is no way it looks like Joe Biden is going to win. The economy is in a horrible position. Crime has gone crazy. International security has gone crazy. The border crisis, the Afghanistan withdrawal crisis, one problem after another. And with him being ruled too senile to even stand trial, they know they are in major trouble. So they're talking about on the national stage replacing him as the candidate with somebody else. And guess who is on the short list of people to replace Joe Biden? That is Andy Beshear. Yes.
No, God, please, no, 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 no!
It is actually true. Yes, he is on the short list of people being considered to replace Joe Biden running for president. There were stories this week on national news outlets. I got Yahoo News, Fox News, Politico News, and other sources talking about these are the likely candidates, people on the short list to replace Joe Biden. And people on that list include Gavin Newsom from California, Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris, the current vice president, and Andy Beshear. Now, I personally don't think it's likely that the Democrats are going to choose Andy for this. The reason for that is outside of Kentucky, about 99.9% of Americans have never heard of this guy. So it's more likely that he would maybe be picked up as a vice presidential candidate. If you had especially like Kamala Harris or Michelle Obama, or Lord forbid, Hillary Clinton running. No! He would kind of balance out the ticket to have a male and a female. So that is a more likely thing. Now, why is Andy Beshear of Kentucky, who's not nationally known, why is he on the short list, though? I want to tell you, here's the reason why, is we have this guy who just won re-election in a red state. Except for Louisville, we have all Republican congressmen. We have a super duper majority of Republicans in both the state Senate and the state House. Republicans control all of the statewide elected offices except for the governor's office. And Andy was going against a guy who had the endorsement of President Trump, and he also came out of Mitch McConnell's office. So he beat a guy who was supported by both Trump and McConnell. And the National Democratic Party, and I have also paid attention to that. And when he gave his inauguration speech just 2 months ago, everybody who was there who knew what was going on, we all realized that was a campaign speech. It's not the kind of speech somebody gives at an inauguration. That was a campaign speech. Question is, what is he campaigning for? He might be looking down the road beyond 2024, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. Now, here's a question. Let's say that Biden withdraws from the primary. Well, there's too late for Andy Beshear or any of the other candidates to get enough Democratic delegates to get the guaranteed vote at the Democratic National Convention in August. I think it's August the 19th. So that convention could put up anybody they wanted. Even delegates who have been promised to Biden are not obligated to vote for him, and they could vote for anybody. But here's the clincher. Everybody pay attention to this part. If they have the Democratic National Convention in August, and sometimes after that, Joe Biden either gets he gets killed, or he decides to withdraw, or he's ruled incompetent, removed from office, whatever. Then who's going to be the Democratic candidate? Here's the interesting part. If that were to happen, then it would be up to the members of the Democratic National Committee to choose their candidate. And that is a sum total of 500 people. And all you need to get is 251 of them to vote for you, and you are the national Democratic candidate for president. 251 people. That's so anything could happen with that. Andy is on the short list. We'll see what happens. I think what is more likely on the way that Andy Beshear intends to get to Washington, D.C., is he wants to replace Mitch McConnell. Just like the country knows, except for Biden, that Biden is senile, the rest of the country knows that Mitch McConnell is having some major serious health problems. Just in the past few months, he had two different, I don't know if they were strokes or seizures or some kind of an event. We all saw it. He had one, and then 30 days later, he had another one right there on national television. It is highly unlikely that he will seek re-election. So Andy Beshear is going to probably, and I would believe so, he's going to run to replace Mitch McConnell. If Mitch should happen to die in office, Andy Beshear will try to appoint himself to replace Mitch McConnell because that's an authority that governors have. The state legislatures tried to pass a law to change that. Andy Beshear has publicly said he's going to ignore that law. He'll take it to the Kentucky Supreme Court, which is leftist leaning, and so therefore probably will rule in favor of Andy Beshear's position. Now, I want to talk about other things going on with Kentucky news on a national level, and it has to do with our senators. We have Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul. Just this week, Mitch McConnell sided with the Democrats to approve a $95 billion foreign aid package. And there's a lot of the Republicans, Rand Paul of Kentucky included, that are saying this is a bad idea. You shouldn't do this, Mitch McConnell. Why are you again siding with the Democrats to send all of this money overseas? Our own border is not secure. We have hundreds of thousands of illegals crossing our southern border every month. I've seen reports coming out of congressmen that said there's an estimated 800,000 illegal invaders crossing our border every 30 days. This is an invasion, which is why the state of Georgia has also just sent troops to the border. Everybody keep that in mind. Things are getting real serious real quick. Well, Mitch McConnell sided with the Democrats to approve this $95 billion foreign aid package. $60 billion of it, by the way, is going directly to Ukraine. We have sent Ukraine in the last 2 years more money than we used to fund the entire United States Marine Corps. Think about that for just a minute. Now, here's a problem, and it's a problem between Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul of Kentucky. Rand Paul has come out with some other conservative senators saying that there is a hidden clause in this foreign aid package that Mitch just voted for that is designed to impeach Donald Trump when he wins the presidency. See, the Democrats are realizing they're in major trouble, and it looks like Trump is going to win the presidency. So they're trying to set him up to be removed before he's even elected. And this is how they're doing that. Donald Trump has said he's going to cut off all this money, billions being sent over to Ukraine and the others on day one. However, Mitch McConnell, the Democrats, put something in this bill that says the money has to continue to flow even through next year, all of next year, 2025. So if Trump tries to stop it, they can then use this to say, well, we're going to impeach you because you're not doing what we commanded you to spend this money and send $60 billion to Ukraine. And this is not just my opinion. This is what Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky was talking about. Notice what he said. Talking about this foreign aid package that he voted no and Mitch McConnell voted yes to send $60 billion to Ukraine. He said, they're locking in foreign aid that will even tie the hands of the next president. I think it's a terrible idea. They're going to try to impeach him before he gains office, and that's exactly what this is. So there we have Rand Paul saying very clearly, this is just a setup that the Democrats and McConnell, they put this into this bill, specifically designing this to tie the hands and maybe have a reason to impeach Trump even before he wins the election to the office. Rand Paul sees it. I see it. Some other conservatives up there in D.C. see it. So we got McConnell on one side of this issue, Rand Paul and the conservatives on the other. It's been said before, if America is a body, then Kentucky is its heart. And that's why how Kentucky politics is having a major impact in things going on in Washington now. And it looks like things going on in Washington for years to come. Got to be careful who you vote for. And that is the reason why each week I am highlighting a candidate for the upcoming elections here in Kentucky. Somebody who is a solid conservative, going to fight against the swamp, people who are really standing by conservative principles. And so each week I'm encouraging you to take $20, $100, whatever you can afford. Don't send it to me. I don't want 1 red cent of your money. I want you to send it to these different candidates so that we can put solid conservatives across Kentucky to shape policy. The candidate this week is somebody I have known for years, and this is a solid conservative. He's running for state representative. His name is Asa Wagner. He'll be running for state representative in Hart, Greene, and LaRue counties. I've talked to him. I know him personally. This is what he is for and against. He is pro-life, pro-family, pro-Second Amendment, pro-term limits, pro-election integrity, pro-immigration, but anti-invasion. He's for securing the border, for reducing us to a 0 state income tax, reducing the size of government, America first. He's pro-Trump. He wants paper ballots. He's pro-police, pro-military, anti-woke, anti-gun control, anti-mandates, and anti-tax increases. So there we are, conservative principles on the major key issues facing our state and nation. So if you want to put some skin in the game saying, hey, I want to support that kind of candidate to shape Kentucky policy, I've got the address, the web address at the bottom of the screen where you can send a donation. I'll also put a direct link for that in the description of this video. You can just hit that link and give, again, $20, $50, whatever you can give to say, I'm willing to put some money where my mouth is, saying this is the kind of person we want in Kentucky. Well, we have 2 events that I want to talk about real quick this week. The first one is called the Revival Project. It is going to be an event held here in Kentucky on February the 19th up in Shepherdsville. And the keynote speaker is going to be General Mike Flynn. Boy, I like him. This is going to be a free event. If you would like to get information about it, then you can visit www.rwforumky.org. They had originally said that I was going to be one of the speakers, but I'm not going to be at the event. But I hope it's a tremendous event. I really like General Flynn, and I hope you can learn more about it. I'd like to put each week where I'm going to be speaking at during the week. Well, this coming Sunday, I'm going to be over in Elizabethtown preaching at the Brooks Baptist Church on 7039 South Wilson Road. If you don't have a church home this Sunday, then I'll be doing the Sunday school hour, the morning and the evening services, and we'd love to see you over there in Elizabethtown. Well, that's the news we have for this week. So until next week, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.
This man, also known as the worst president in United States history, loves ice cream, lounging on beaches, and sniffing children. Joe.
Who is me? Wait, where am I?